Through hard work and determination, a dedicated team of researchers and historians have brought together the most comprehensive collection of artefacts, objects and buildings from the region's past. Among the items on display are a selection of vintage motor vehicles that date back to the early years of the 20th century. All the cars here were rescued from the local area and brought to the museum, where they have been restored and are now shown as exhibition pieces. Built in Tividale in the 1920s, this tram was recovered from a back garden in Cates Hill, where the owners had been using it as a summer house. The buses, however, remained in service until the early 1960s. The museum also reconstructs buildings that have been rescued and transported to the site, carefully dismantled and brought to the museum, where they are then rebuilt brick by brick to their original condition. The Racecourse Colliery is one of the Black Country Museum's main attractions. Visitors get the chance to see firsthand some of the machines and techniques that were used in Victorian coal mining. They can also walk around the mine itself, where they can learn about the many dangers that the miners of the time had to face. One such danger was the threat of flooding, which occurred when underground water seeps into the tunnels and passageways of the mine. The machine you see here is a steam-powered pump that was used to drain away the flooded areas. To the miners of the day, it was every bit as important as the Davy lamp in terms of preventing fatal accidents. The toll house that used to be situated on the Sedgley-Tividale Turnpike was originally built in 1845, and its purpose was to take fees from anyone using the road. As we can see, living conditions for those inside often did not reflect the price that was charged. The actors we see are historians and enthusiasts who play the part of people who used to live and work in the 19th century. They are always happy to answer any questions visitors may have about any aspect of everyday life in the Victorian age. In the past, slating was one of the region's most important industries. Raw slate was transferred from the Welsh valleys to the Midlands, where it was cut and crafted into roof tiles, and then sold throughout the country. The centrepiece of the Black Country Museum is a reconstructed museum village, which has over 25 buildings and shops, its own canal system, complete with barges and tunnel, an ironworks and shipping yard. Pride of place goes to the Derby Hand Methodist Chapel, that was reconstructed in 1979 after being dismantled and transported from its original site in Netherton. The Bottle and Glass Inn was formerly a public house that stood on the Bridley Hill Road from 1822. It was transported to the Black Country Museum in 1977, making it one of the first buildings to be acquired and rebuilt on site. John Revel built this small cinema in Bridley Hill in 1926. It was transported to its current site in the early 80s. Thanks to a generous donation from the Charles Hayward Trust of St James's School, originally sited in Salop Street and relocated to the Black Country Museum in 1991. The castings shown in these pictures reflect the world-famous metalworking industry that grew in the region following the decline of coal production in the late 19th century. Black Country Museum has its own working foundry, where visitors can see for themselves how iron and steel goods were made in the area at the height of production in the 1820s. Central to the economy of the region was the extensive network of canals that linked the many towns and villages of the borough. Canal barges like the ones we see here were preferable to horse-drawn cars, as they were able to carry in a single journey loads that were up to 20 times heavier in weight. The Black Country Museum offers visitors the chance to travel back in time, where they can catch a glimpse of life as it was in the glory days of Britain's industrial past.